What's up? This is Disclosuretv with a new video. The video I'm going to show you is an extension to a new third phase of the moon video that was just recently put out about a UFO craft seen on NASA's ISS live stream. I wanted to start out by saying this is an amazing video and I've never seen anything like it. Although some of you may have seen this craft shape before, I don't think there's been one like it documented in a UFO case. So let's take a look at the video. This video was live streamed from the International Space Station during a spacewalk on January 20th of 2020. Two astronauts were replacing lithium-ion batteries on the truss portion of the International Space Station. If you look beyond the International Space Station, you can see the Earth and clouds are moving as the space station orbits around it. You also hear some communication between Mission Control and the two astronauts outside of the International Space Station.
I'm coming down to Petersburg. All right. I have a airlock set ready for your bag.
The spacewalk was set for 8 hours, and this part of the video was towards the end of that 8-hour spacewalk when both astronauts were making their way back to the airlock of the ISS. I want to pause the video right here. The object can be seen midway up on the right side of your screen, between the edge of the Earth's atmosphere and the International Space Station. This craft totally looks like it's CGI, but it's not. As we continue the video, the craft fades as it gets further away because it's passing from the sun-facing part of the Earth to the dark side of the Earth. Pretty crazy, right? If you take a look at my crude graphic for some reference, I've noted the direction of the ISS, UFO, and Earth's rotation. The UFO is moving horizontally away, but matching the International Space Station's orbit speed around the Earth. If you imagine the UFO reversing its horizontal direction, it would have been really close to the ISS. So does that mean the ISS could have been docked with the UFO? We know the astronauts didn't mention the object to Mission Control on the video.
Mere completing her journey across the enormous truss structure of the International Space Station, now making her way down to the Quest airlock.
Does that mean they knew what it was? Something that big I'm sure they saw, although just because we didn't hear them on the live feed doesn't mean they didn't say anything. They do have the ability to change the radio frequency to talk to Mission Control privately if needed. There are classified operations happening on the space station. Let's take a closer look at the craft. Obviously, this doesn't look like your average satellite or any satellite that I've ever seen. However, the military has launched classified satellites we've never seen before, but this one doesn't look like any real object or any other UFO we've ever seen before. Here's the exact source video for this image. The video is taken from NASA's YouTube channel. The title of the live stream is NASA Astronaut Spacewalk Outside the International Space Station on January 20th, 2020. The exact time the craft appears starts at 7 hours and 40 minutes. Since this doesn't look like your average UFO, could this possibly be a type of starship craft? As a matter of fact, a lot of you probably have seen this exact craft before, not in real life, but from a TV show. That TV show's name? Stargate. It resembles Stargates Destiny ship to be exact. You're probably still thinking this is CGI or a NASA trick, but it's not. Not long before this was brought to light, Third Phase of the Moon also posted a video on finding what they believe is a Stargate in Area 51. If that's not enough of a strange coincidence, if you want to go check out that video, I'll leave a link in the description for both of their videos. So what else could it be if not a UFO battlecruiser? It's a further possibility it could be Earth's very first space hotel. Yep, that's right, a space hotel. The Gateway Foundation started a campaign to build the first space hotel, a cruise ship style hotel called the Von Braun Station. They have since changed its name and initial design. The Gateway Foundation has now contracted the Orbital Assembly Corporation to start building its space hotel, which is now named Voyager Station. It is scheduled to be open sometime in 2027. If you notice, this design is similar to the craft I just showed you in the video. Almost. Its main structure shape is rounded. Its vertical center support structure design is elongated and tapered, just like the craft seen in the NASA video. So if you turn that craft right side up, it would look just like this. As of now, the Gateway Foundation hasn't started any construction in space, but who's to say someone else hasn't? NASA did contract out to SpaceX to start launching pieces of its Lunar Gateway into space. Launches have increased over 1,000% since 2016. Countries with little or no space program are trying to get to the moon. Companies and governments all over the world are launching several times a day, 7 days a week, claiming they are satellites. They could be, or they could have been building a large structure, maybe even the one you just saw. The UFO in the video doesn't match any known satellites or space stations currently in orbit. But I have one other theory about what this craft could be if it's not a UFO, one that includes a Harvard professor. A theory was published in Scientific American, a prestigious scientific journal by Harvard professor and astrophysicist Avi Loeb, which introduced a theory about a first-of-its-kind interstellar object that came from outside our solar system. He suggested the interstellar object named Oumuamua was a craft that had been intelligently made. The only official image released of Oumuamua is this dot. Scientists thought Oumuamua was an asteroid or a comet, but scientists soon were baffled by the object because it behaved oppositely of any known asteroid or comet ever observed. It had no tail, outgassing, or material loss at all. It sped up without a source of propulsion, changed direction, and had an orbit that did not make sense, which is a direct quote from its finder, Robert Wyrick. No scientist could offer any other explanation. After looking at all the research and data available on Oumuamua, astrophysicist Avi Loeb came to the only and best explanation that anyone could offer about Oumuamua. His data and research led him to believe Oumuamua was under intelligent control by someone other than human beings, an ET. Saying that in public and to the mainstream media obviously stirred up some shit. Stating such a thing is definitely a career ender for any scientist. For 30 plus years, he had been a distinguished scientist, pioneering research into black holes, gravity, and gamma rays. Basically a real-life Sheldon. After announcing that he thought Oumuamua was a spacecraft under intelligent control by another type of intelligent life, he was made fun of, his work discredited, and was informed by the MSM he was now a tinfoil hat-wearing conspiracy theorist. But NASA, the US, and many other countries are spending trillions of dollars searching for that exact thing while publicly saying they are. Somehow that's different. It was said that Oumuamua left our solar system, but what if it didn't? What if that intelligently controlled interstellar object stayed? This is an artist rendering of what the ESA thinks Oumuamua looks like. No one has ever seen Oumuamua. If you take a look at the artist rendering, what do you see? What if we rotate the image 90 degrees? What shape do you see? It's a familiar shape. You've already seen it, a long tapered shape. The curved top, maybe even looking like the elongated bottom half of the craft you just saw on the NASA Live Feed video, right? It's weird. The size comparison to the craft and Oumuamua would be similar, and the craft compared to the ISS would look like this. The ISS being 109 meters long and Oumuamua at 400 meters. Based on the craft's distance from the ISS in the video, that would also put the size of the craft somewhere around the same size as Oumuamua. So what do you think about the craft in the NASA video? Could it be a satellite? Could the craft have something to do with the Stargate? What if Oumuamua never left and the craft you saw was Oumuamua? Leave a comment down below, and as always, remember to like and subscribe. This is Disclosuretv, and we are out of here.
May God be with you. This is not a test.